Guy Montag is the protagonist of Fahrenheit 451, content with his job as a fireman. Once Montag meets his new neighbor, Clarice, he begins to question his life, his career, and his society. On the job, he finds himself stealing books, and he becomes increasingly fascinated by the power of the forbidden printed word. Fahrenheit 451 is built around Montag's awakening. His choice to steal and read books and think for himself disrupts his career and marriage, and eventually he joins a rebel group of book lovers. Beatty is the extremely perceptive captain of Montag's firehouse. He senses from the beginning that Montag is hiding his fascination with books. Beatty plays a sadistic game with Montag, never accusing him directly, but repeatedly implying that he knows what Montag is doing. Beatty himself has a paradoxical relationship to books. He's read widely in an age where books are illegal, yet as a fireman, he destroys books as a social threat. He's always ready with an apt literary quote, but he uses them to argue that reading is dangerous to society and books deserve to be destroyed. Clarice McClellan is Montag's 17-year-old neighbor and the catalyst who changes Montag's life, inspiring him to question the society in which he lives. She inquires about his thoughts and feelings, going against the grain of a culture that frowns on self-awareness in favor of vapid self-centeredness. Montag looks forward to seeing Clarice, even though their conversations often disturb him. One day, she simply disappears. A few days later, his wife, Mildred, casually mentions that Clarice has been hit by a car and killed. But after Clarice's death, her powerful effect on Montag never wanes. He remembers her vividly and often. She becomes the standard by which he judges society and sees how deeply it lacks humanity. Mildred, Montag's wife, is a true product of Fahrenheit 451's dystopian world. Mildred lacks self-awareness or depth in her thinking. Mildred and Montag have an emotionally distant marriage. She tries reading along with Montag at first, but the social pressure is too much, and she alerts the authorities and leaves the marriage. Montag once met Faber in a park. A retired English professor, Faber loves books and understands why they're so important. As Montag becomes more deeply drawn to books, he turns to Faber for guidance. Faber becomes a mentor to Montag, explaining the importance of culture and thought. Together, Montag and Faber plot to change society. Grainger is the leader of a group of people who memorize books and takes over as Montag's guide once Montag leaves Faber and his former life behind. A former professor, Grainger explains to him how to survive on the fringes of society. He also provides Montag with an alternative philosophy of how to live and shares personal stories about his grandfather, an active, free-spirited sculptor.